First up is the Veepstakes. There are, of course, lots of perceptions and personalities that can be considered. So, Donny, let's start with Trump. Before we get to talking about actual physical human beings, what kind of pick do you think would do him the best in terms of enhancing his brand?
Well, he can either go deeper on his brand or do a brand extension. What I mean deeper are the traits that he's got already, which is strong, masculine, protective, all the things, or he can do a brand extension, which would be a woman on the ticket, somebody who's more of a moderate, if you will, in certain areas that contrasts with him, that extends his brand. I think he should go deep. I think there's one candidate that checks off every list, and that's Tom Ridge. Okay, he needs a security guy. He needs a guy who's inside Washington, who basically was a congressman. He was a governor. He needs a guy that looks a certain part. What was so great about the Clinton-Gore campaign that I worked on, he didn't need another Southern, obviously, but it was two good-looking young Southern guys who was, and I think he fits and guess what? He's part of one of the three swing states that are the most critical, Pennsylvania.
And the other thing about Tom Ridge is his blue-collar background.
You see them on...
And a veteran.
I always say, what do they look like on stage together? Yeah. And you also get the feeling that Ridge could have the kind of gravitas and strength behind the scenes go, not that anybody can, Donald. What the hell are you doing, man?
Yeah.
You know, and so I don't think there's a close second.
Other thing is Ridge is pro-choice.
Yeah.
And you could get away with it. Trump could get away with it, but that would help him maybe with women. As you said, Pennsylvania is so key. And the guy's a great campaigner, national security credentials. I agree with Ridge, the kind of thing he wants. I think there's almost no chance he'll pick someone who doesn't have pretty serious national security credentials. And Trump has said as much. As you all said, Ridge knows Washington.
Right.
But he also has a state background, very valuable. All right. Let's talk about Hillary Clinton from a branding perspective, Donny. What do you think she should pick or will pick to try to help her brand?
Okay, what do we talk about her once again? Does she go deeper in her brand or does she extend it? I think she does more of a brand extension. I think, what did we say about Hillary? Hillary's kind of boring. At best, she's boring. And so what do? I go Castro. I go a sexy young Hispanic. I go all in it. Basically, look, Mitt Romney got 30% of Hispanics got killed in the election. If basically you now have a young, appealing Hispanic male on the ticket, I think that could be a nail in the coffin. I think that's her first choice by far. I think a boring choice. I think going just in terms of with Brown from Ohio. I think you need some sizzle on that.
Here's why I don't agree with you, and this is the difference between Ridge and, with all due respect to Castro. Ridge is qualified to be president. No one's going to doubt it based on his resume. Castro's got a great future, but I don't think you can pass him off today as ready to be president. And I think you take too big a risk, and you ruin the part of the brand that says we're ready. We're not risky and untested. We're ready. When you pick a guy who, again, with all due respect to the career he's already had, he's risky and untested as president of the United States.
But I could give you an argument that Trump is so risky as president that you put a more risk-averse candidate there, where because Hillary is there, you're not thinking. I don't think people vote on one gunshot away, God forbid, of president. I think they vote on the overall gestalt of the two people.
I agree, but you still need to be ready. Look, here's the reality is, well, Trump's going to make his pick late, right? He's already said that. He may make it at the convention. The Democrat convention's literally the following week. That gives Clinton a very small window. And the worry, to go back to something we talked about earlier in the show, she needs a really big wow pick. Otherwise, people are still going to be talking about Trump's pick when she makes hers, and it's going to be like, wow, whoever Trump picks is a wow pick.
So that's what I'm saying. She picks Kane. It's like, that's my point. The more logical picks, the more blocking and tackling picks, she doesn't get that. I always go visually. Picture Trump and Ridge on stage, picture Hillary and Kane. Look, and Kane is a very, very competent guy versus a Castro. She needs sex appeal. She needs newness. She needs wow factor. I don't know where else to go. The other thing she could do, but she wouldn't, obviously, a Pitbull and Andrew Cuomo. I mean, she's not picking Cuomo for 1,000 reasons, obviously, but some pugnacious street fighter who is her attack dog. But then on the other hand, it'll turn around, maybe makes her look weaker because Trump goes, she can't fight her own
I don't got a
battles.
name for you yet. This is based mostly on instinct, but a little bit of reporting. I think she may find a prominent Republican to join her on the ticket, maybe even a prominent Republican woman. And that would be a wow pick as a threefer because it'd be a Republican, it'd be a woman, and it'd be doubling down on the historic first.
Yeah.
And
who would that be? Give me a name.
I don't know yet. I don't know who'd be willing to do it. But I think if she could find maybe even a female business person, any female would just shake up the race. And if it's a Republican,
not Warren, though. I think Warren hurts her. I obviously get the doubling down and makes it historic.
And she wants someone she wants to work with. I don't think Hillary Clinton wants to spend 4 years working with Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah.
That's my hunch.
Doubling down on a woman, Republican woman, is smart.
Yeah. And the wow factor would be huge. And it would obviously emphasize the message we know is going to be a big factor in Philadelphia, which is this party, this is crossover appeal. Trump is dividing the Republican Party.
I'm going to stand corrected. If she could find someone like that, I don't see the names, though, but if you could pull that off, wow.
Yeah. I mean, look, there may be some retired senator who might do it, maybe a retired governor.
But it's we know the list, but I'm saying in theory that's great. Name 3.
I'm working on it. I don't want to say here, A, because I'm not sure, and B, because
even theoretically, who could be? I got one who was.
If Nancy Kassebaum were around,
okay.
she'd be.
How about Oprah?
Oprah would be a fine pick, but she's not a Republican.